Right, so I have a cold right now and I'm not in the best mental state, but yeah, I'm really exhausted, I'm tired, I've had a long day. But I just wanted to say really quick that I'm really frustrated by all these people who are diagnosed with Asperger's or suspect that they have Asperger's, saying that they are mild Aspies or borderline Asperger's, and they never say Aspies actually. They always say mild Asperger's, very specifically. And I just wanted to point out that most of the people who say this are newly diagnosed and brand new to the field, or they're around relatively unsupported family, or they don't know that many friends who are autistic, outside of maybe a close circle, or they don't know autistics that aren't in their close circle or family friends, etc. And I feel like a lot of these people are scared of their diagnosis, even when they say that it's good, when they say it benefits them. They're deep down, they're scared of this diagnosis that they have Asperger's. So, saying they have mild Asperger's, is saying that they are mildly neurotypical. No one says that. No one says that they are mildly neurotypicals. So, and yes, a lot of the people who do use neurotypical are those who have already, entered the culture that's positive for people with autism. The autistic culture. When they use the word neurotypical instead of normal people, that's when they start to differentiate it. But, they never say they're mildly normal or, anything like that. They always say mildly Asperger's. So they're pointing out their flaws. And that's how they feel about that. They don't see Asperger's for the positive things it brings them. Or they see it, some of it, but they're focusing on the flaws that gained them the diagnosis in the first place. The lack of the communication, the obsessive interest, sometimes the sensory issues, if that's what they were in there for, like I was. I wasn't even in there for my personality like I should have been. It was because I get fucking hurt by all these fucking lights. So yeah, every time I hear an Aspie, say that they have mild Asperger's, my mind kind of I keep trying to do this spice analogy, oh, it's mildly spicy. And let me tell you, someone with a spice sensitivity, mildly spicy is not mildly spicy. It is still spicy. It is still spicy. And the same thing applies with Asperger's and autism. It is still autism, even if you feel like you're on the border, and I feel like saying that you're mild is more of a detriment to people who do think that they might have Asperger's, to potential people who need the diagnosis, because, it's, oh god, I lost my train of thought. It scares them away. They will also go on the train where they are mildly Aspie too. They'll say that they have mild Asperger's in order to differentiate from, I don't even know what. There aren't really that many examples of correct autistics. Like Temple Grandin isn't even Asperger's. She's high-functioning autistic, and yes, Asperger's is a part of high-functioning autistic, but I personally have, how I feel, what I have witnessed is that there's kind of two separate mindsets, and I feel like it scares people away from getting diagnosis and losing my thoughts, just going in my head, sorry. It's, that they're not even there's nothing that they're comparing it to, all of the media examples of autism aren't autistic. There's a reason why so many autistic people have autistic headcanons. I think the Gravity Falls Pines family matches Asperger's more than the actual portrayal of Asperger's, because people who try to intentionally make their characters Asperger's somehow really miss the mark. I don't understand how they do that, but they do that. So there's no negative stereotype to compare it to, but they're still trying to dodge this thing, this weird negativity that they I wonder if they feel, some of them actually feel it when, when they talk to their relatives and their friends about the possibility that they're autistic. I wonder if they're getting that negative idea from their family, friends, from the people who they know best, or if they're particularly skilled in passing or reading body language, from the people they meet, because I have no idea what they're trying to protect themselves from, aside from, all of the bullies and negative thoughts people have had their entire life for who they are and their lack of social skills. So, yeah, different people have different, issues with, the different aspects of autism. So, for example, my huge issue is with lights and with sensitivity. I am a ball of sensitivity. That's just how I am. It's kind of sucks, but that's how I am. And other people, they might not be sensitive at all. That just might be the social awkwardness. I had the social awkwardness too, but I'm a little bit better at that than I am in way of my sensitive issues. So, and I know someone who I would call him Asperger's. He's not diagnosed. He did have verbal problems when he was younger, but I think it was mostly more of a speech impediment. I think he still understood language, from my understanding, at a young age. So he's still an Asperger's. And, he passes better than I do. He's still awkward. He doesn't have as much sensitivity issues. And in a way, I would describe him as mildly autistic, but in some ways he's much more autistic than I am. Like, he's an introvert, and he can really narrow down on subjects in a stronger fashion than I can. He can really obsess over things much more than I can, even though he manages to navigate it in a way that just makes him look like an eccentric genius. So it's in that sense, I don't feel like there is such a thing as mild Asperger's, because what does that mean? Does that mean that they're completely mild to the sensitivity issues? Are they able to pass naturally? Was that something that they learned early on as a kid or in their teens? What does that mean? Which part is mild? How mild is it? And yeah, that's why I think it's just a fear-based thing. It's using the mild or borderline, not borderline personality, just as a synonym for mild, nearly autistic. It's just all fear-based. It's just based on, just either misconceptions or, correct assumptions of how people will view them. It's just fear-based. That's all I have to say. Sorry for repeating. Sorry for being weird. I'm not editing this video because I messed up right now, and I shouldn't be posting this, but I'm going to because I feel like I need to post a video. It's definitely an issue I've been trying to work on. And posting videos is easier when you're not so great. And you're not so concerned about editing. So, bye.